the Norwich Select Board. I find that due to the state of emergency declared by Governor Scott as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic and pursuant to Addendum 6 to Executive Order 01-20 and Act 92, this public body is authorized to meet electronically. In accordance with Act 92, there is no physical location to observe and listen contemporaneously to this meeting. However, in accordance with the temporary amendments to the open meeting law, I confirm that we are providing public access to this meeting via telephone and video via the Zoom conference services. All members of the board and or the public have the ability to communicate contemporaneously during this meeting through this platform. And continuing the meeting, if necessary, if the public is unable to access this meeting, it will be continued to a time and place certain. And I also want to point out that all votes will be roll call votes. And at 6:31, I am calling the Select Board meeting to order. The members of the Select Board that are present are Roger Arnold, myself, Claudette Brochu, Mary Layton, Robert Gear, John Langus, Herb Durfee, our town manager. And we have some members of the public as well. So having said that, board, anybody have any questions, comments, concerns about the agenda? Additions, deletions? I see shaking of heads all around. So moving on to number 2 is public comments. Are there any members of the public wanting to make a comment? And I see Cheryl Lindbergh with her hand up. Name and locatable address, Cheryl, and you're muted.
I unmuted you, Cheryl.
Thank you. Cheryl Lindbergh, 59 Koch Road. Quick public comment regarding Finance Committee appointments. On June 13th of 18, the Select Board created a Finance Committee charge, and I'll briefly read a couple of sentences. The Norwich Finance Committee, appointed by the Norwich Select Board in consultation with the town treasurer, comprises 3 to 7 Norwich residents who are not employees of the town, nor have they immediate family members that are employees of the town. I mentioned this to the board because I believe last week you appointed a really qualified individual that is married to our rec director. And I believe that is in conflict with what you have drafted and approved at your Select Board meeting back in June of 18. Also, I would appreciate being in consultation with you on the appointment. So with that said, those 2 points on that Finance Committee charge, I wanted to bring to your attention, and perhaps next meeting we can, revisit what's going on with the Finance Committee appointments.
Thank you, Cheryl. And thank you for pointing that out. And it appears that this will be needed as a topic for discussion at a Select Board meeting. The agenda is currently being drafted as we speak. So at the end of the meeting, I will, or actually now, we can roll call the Select Board members and see if they want to add this to the agenda for May 27th. Or if there's any discussion by any members of the Select Board about Cheryl's comment.
Yeah, I appreciate you raising that, Cheryl. That's exactly right. None of us thought of that when we considered that. In addition, I don't know if anyone in public is aware, but John Pepper has resigned from his spot on the Finance Committee. So that will mean that there's 2 open spaces where a week ago when I see Pam Smith has joined us here. Unfortunately, Pam had been told that we had an opening, and last week there wasn't, and now there are two. So I absolutely support having it on the agenda next meeting. I don't know what our advertising of positions timeline is, where we want to advertise again and then give people time to respond to that. Presumably not enough time for next week. But we obviously have 4 people that wanted to be on the planning commission a week ago who weren't able to be. And so some of them may be interested or someone else. So I support it on the agenda, but I don't know if we'll be able to refill that spot in the next week.
Correct.
Go ahead. I just wanted to say we were never a full finance committee capacity. We were 6 members. There, even with 2 being appointed last week, there was still 1 vacancy.
Okay, I'll look into that one. And members of the board, or Herb has his hand up.
Just quickly, I think Omer had verified that it was full last week. That's what, or the week before. So you ought to consult with the chair of the finance committee, Cheryl.
Well, but I mean, it's frustrating. So if no one checked that in the charge, it could just be that whatever number they had, they knew they had replaced whoever left.
Correct.
Which is different.
Yep.
Which is different from saying that they were full. So
yep.
Clearly we need to go back and all read this so that we understand exactly where we sit. But regardless, thanks for raising it, Cheryl.
Mary, I see your hand up.
I think it would be nice to know, to be clear about the number of openings available, but also to give enough time to advertise so that people don't sort of hear about it at the last minute and then try to scoot in before the packet and so forth. But I think that would put it into June, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. So, Roger, any objection to putting the item on the agenda to discuss the finance committee membership? And
no, I think it's good. I think it would be helpful to see the finance committee charge. I think that may or may not be in Appendix A and another related agenda item. So it would be good to bring that back into the packet for a variety of reasons. And then, yeah, I think someone should just inform the applicant about the potential stated conflict, right? Or not even a stated it's in the charge. So someone should just read that charge back and then thank them with apologies. And then we should just be discussing whatever appointees we get.
okay.
So no objections.
So, and I will contact the applicant that is no longer qualified.
Jeff. It's not Voldemort. We can mention his name. It's Jeff.
I couldn't remember his first name. Okay, Rob, do you have any objection to adding that discussion on the agenda? And Rob is shaking his head no. So, okay. Any other public comments? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to our 3rd item on the agenda, which is entering into executive session to discuss Great River Hydro's case. And is there a board member willing to make a motion? Mary?
I move to make a finding that premature public knowledge of the select board's position in regarding Great River Hydro LLC versus Town of Norwich, docket number 445-10-18 WREV, would clearly place the town at a significant disadvantage.
Is there a second? I minimized my screen, so somebody's going to need to speak
Second.
up.
It's Rob.
So motion made by Mary, seconded by Rob Gear. I'm going to roll call vote. Roger, how do you vote?
Yes.
Rob Gear, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mary Layton, how do you vote?
Yes.
John Langus, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Brochu's a vote, so that's 5-0. Is anybody willing to make the second motion?
Oh, I'll do it again. Let's see.
Thank
I
you.
move to enter executive session pursuant to 1 VSA section 313A1C, mediation, and E, pending litigation, and F, confidential attorney-client communications made for the purpose of providing professional legal services to the select board and to include the town manager and Michael Tarrant, second, Esquire.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Motion made by Mary Layton, seconded by Rob Gear. Another roll call. Roger, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mary, how do you vote?
Yes?
Rob, how do you vote?
Yes.
John, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Brochu's a yes. So we will be entering executive session at 6:41.
And so I can move folks into a waiting room if I can do that. So that's what I'm going to do. Hold on. Wait, Cheryl has her.
Carol's wanting to say something.
You have a hand up, Cheryl?
Yeah. Just
Yes, sir.
wondering if you would come back with a decision at some point after executive, or do you know?
I think that's the expectation.
I'll put you in a waiting room. Okay, bye.
Hopefully the music is nice.
And Pam, do I have a select board motion to enter public session? Mary,
I move to enter public session.
is there a second on that motion?
A second.
Motion is made by Mary, seconded by Rob at 7:35 to re-enter public session. So we are now in public session.
Do we want to?
We have to vote.
Ah, okay, sorry. Second motion.
Popular acclamation.
We have to do roll call, don't we? Really?
Yes, okay, sorry, I skipped that one too. So roll call vote to enter public session. Roger, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And Claudette's a yes. So 7:36. We are in public session. And then I'll give, is Cheryl back? Well, I see her screen is there. Cheryl,
There she is.
okay. Pam. Oh, okay.
Look at that little kid.
Okay, is there anybody willing to make the next motion?
Yeah, I'll do it again.
Thank you, Mary.
I move to authorize the town manager to serve as the town's representative to the legal proceedings regarding Great River Hydro LLC versus Town of Norwich, docket number 445-10-18 WREV, including the mediation session on June 2nd, 2020, and related successor sessions as may be scheduled. Such representation allows the town manager to negotiate and otherwise act on behalf of the town up to the point where a handshake, quote unquote, agreement may be mediated. Thereafter, the select board's formal approval and signature is required on any mutually agreed upon terms.
Is there a second?
Second.
So Mary made the motion, seconded by Rob. We'll roll call vote. Roger?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes?
Rob?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And Claudette's a yes. So, thank you. And trying to get back to my agenda. Not being successful. And hold. And okay, now do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
So Mary moved to adjourn, seconded by John. Roll call, Rob. Pardon me?
No. Yes. Roll call.
So, sorry. I kind of shifted out of order. Rob, how do you vote?
Yes.
Roger, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Claudette is a yes. So we are adjourned at 7:39.
Good to see you
Yay.
guys. Thanks a lot,
Thank you,
Harry.
everyone.
Thank you, Michael.
Bye, Michael.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.